So I think some of you are new, so I just giving the oral transmission from the beginning.
因为你们当中有时刚来到的话，我们会再次给这个法王维宝的这个中原心智里面的口传再给多一次。
Dam Sendri China Jubikara Tundula Chacha Chapamber Summit Mini de Radunam Yozon, Kila, Kona Dena Zobajan Kinda Jan Tiny Damage in the Bandini Basam Jit and Jandon. So this morning we talk this. So as I usual, I think because generate your mind and generate mind as a Buddhista.
就一般所说的，他每次在听课前，我们都叫健身体这个殊胜珍贵的利他菩提之心。
So, turn of Dharma, we are just receiving teaching or giving the teaching. Teachings is a very great virtues and great merit. So, we usually call it their virtues for the conventional virtues and the ultimate virtues. But within the conventional virtues, giving the Dharma teaching and receiving the Dharma teaching is the great.
那么呢，一般来说呢，听闻跟给予教法是会带来莫大的功德和好处的。那在许多的功德当中，会有世间的功德跟处世间的功德，是相对跟正义的功德。那就相对的功德而言呢，听闻给予教法功德是最好的、最棒的。
So usually says that giving the Dharma teaching is the ultimate virtue. These virtues it's not like conventional truth within the conventional truth. This is the ultimate. Where we say generosity. So the giving the Dharma is most precious and great virtue.
所以这四方面的具体的功德就是给法教的功德是最究竟的。那一般来说呢，在所有的布施当中，把布施为最第一。
So we are just generate mind and think about all the sentient beings together releasing the Dharma, and after receiving the Dharma and sharing with others those who have not opportunity to attend the Dharma teachings. And so the training your mind and generate your bodhisattva is very important.
那所以我们发愿聆听的法教，就是为了利他、利乐一切众生，为使他们究竟成佛而聆听这个法教。然后呢，把所聆听到的法教呢，能够布施给人有机会在这边听法的佛友的道人。这样的话，你是亲近菩提心来做我们这个听法的主要的发心。
So giving the Dharma means not only the giving the teachings, but also you reciting mantra and this Avalokiteshvara mantra or whatever the Buddha's mantra to the insect or fish or whatever the animals within their ears. You reciting the mantra is great virtues. This also includes giving the Dharma.
那不只说是听法说法而已。那比如说你念咒的时候，把那个咒吹气，然后吹在这个要放生的动物啊、昆虫的身上，这样的话会为他们带来很多的加持，这样也是一种法布施。
So there's many visible living being and invisible living being. That means we cannot see, but there's many sentient beings within the space. So we always reciting the mantra just loudly and generate others. So these are very great virtues, and also the giving the Dharma.
所以有些众生是我们的眼睛能够看得到的，有些众生是在空中、在水上我们看不见的无形的这个众生。那即便是这样，我们无时不刻的在念诵咒语的话，回向给他们，这个是对这些有形无形众生所做的最好的布施，这也是一种法布施之一。
So this morning we talk about the the values of the teachings, especially the how do we practice and how do we relate to teachers and what kind of teachers we need and what kind of qualified teachers need. So these great teachers relied, and so we receive in the great qualities as well.
那么呢，我们今天早上所讲的是依止善知识，依止具德上师的重要性。那如何找到一个真正的上师？上师所要具备的条件跟资格是什么？然后依止的具德上师跟这个善知识所获得的功德跟利益和好处是什么？所以今天早上我们都讲了关于这方面的这些事情，就是如何依止一个善知识、具德的上师。
So we, as I mentioned before, the three ways to serve the teacher, and 3 ways to serve the teacher, and the best way is listen to the Dharma teachings and put them in practice. This is the best offering to the teacher.
那今天早上我们谈过3种对待侍奉上师的这个态度跟做法，所谓的上中下、上等、中等跟下等。那最好的方式。供养上师最好的上等的方法，就是你听闻佛法，然后把所听闻到的佛法实践在你的生命里的生活当中，这样把你所修得的法的成就回向供养给上师，这个是最好的第一的法布施。
So we, as I mentioned before, renunciation and generate mind, relate to teachers. So after we have all these done, now we should observe the precept as well.
然后下来，我们今天谈过了这个所谓的出离心，然后第二就是依止善知识、具德根的上师，然后第三就是我们要守戒，要守这个清净戒。
So precept means not you just become as a bhikshu or taking the full vows of the monk. It's not necessary. If you can, that's good. But even there's many ways. Even you taking vow or don't kill in the animal or small insect, or there's actually 5 main precept ordinations we have. But within the one things, even you can't. That is very great.
那所谓的守戒，并不是说你要剃头出家，或者是做比丘、比丘尼的居住节，不是这个意思。即便是在家居士的5戒，杀盗淫妄酒，你只能够守好1个、2个、3个、4个都可以，那算是守戒清净了。
So even it's difficult to take in the vow, something like that. Even you can say you taking the vow of not killing the human or whatever. And the other insect might difficult, but you just taking the one precept, just like don't kill the human.
然后呢，即便你认为说你不杀那个昆虫、蚂蚁、虫类，你觉得很难，所以不杀生戒你觉得很难，不杀动物你觉得很难，但是你守1戒就是不杀人，那也算是守戒了。
That is a great merit, and we have to have all this as the background of the receiving the Dharma teachings or practicing as well.
因为人天善法的戒律，至少你不杀人的话，你会感到人天的福报。那这样的话，就是你信持修持佛法的最好的基础，你能够遇到佛法，然后听闻佛法。
So no, here it says, Jirtaram Kawi Kidmut Sarandor, Ngombaran Todang Ila Phuntsok, and Sitram Ngombaran Todang Ila Tadak, and Sitram Tralan Jong Jigme. Just the garden are not to be found and growing in the mid-air, or the bunties of higher realms and liberations will never be yours as long as you lack moral discipline. So, giving for example, examples, just gardens. So precept is the background for every qualified. So precept as just like earth, define all the plants on it. So this is very important.
那下来的这个中原心是你的第5段和第5集，那就是这样念的：犹如空中见花园，真上定胜诸圆满，无界无始机会故，念之谨慎调秩序。你说戒律是一切德行、一切善业的这个基础，没有戒律 没有清净的戒律为基础的话呢，就好像空中楼阁一般，你没有办法在上面建立起更圆满的这个佛法上的成就。所以戒律的基础或者说以戒律为基础是很重要的一种佛法的修持。
So we perceived, we say jewels of perceived. So this is every qualities, the grant of every qualities, and this is also the foundation of preliminary teachings. And whatever we wishing to reborn in the high realm or Sukada land or whatever, this is the one of the important grant or preliminary.
所以这个呢，戒律呢是一切善法功德的基础。不只是如此，你要聆听这更高的教法的时候呢，也必须以这个戒法为一切所听闻佛法的最根本、最基础。所以这样的话，我们说是戒律是一切善法，也是一切佛法的根源和这个基础。
So there is one of the sutra of Parinirvana Sutra mentioned the precept is the source of all virtues, and it is just the ladder to liberate. So it is just like a ladder to the enlightened being.
那大般涅盘经里面就说过，我们必须要以戒为师。戒律是一切善法功德的基础，戒律也是一切成就跟解脱的泉源。
So as I mentioned before, all the plant is grow up from the earth. So precept is just like earth.
那就如人之前所讲的，一切的花草树木都是从土地上生出来的，所以戒律是一切善法功德的这个土地。
So without the earth, there is no any fruit or there is no any plant. So these are the source of all the qualities and virtues.
没有这个肥沃的土地的话，就没有这个花果树木的生长。所以同样的，没有戒律为基础为大地的话，其他的一切善法跟佛法上的成就跟功德也无法从中滋长。
So the trees of the plants of the precept and the compassion is just like water. So water spread to the plant. So with the compassion and precept is depend each other. So compassion is just like a water, and the precept is like a plant.
那么以戒为体或者以戒为大地，那么种下了这个种子之后，以大悲为水，那我们就长成菩提果。
So Nagarjuna also mentioned that Chumna Judamar Ji Sabjin the Yunanganji Justin Sutramian. That means the ordination or precept is just like a grant, and whatever we everything's plans depend on the grant. So all the virtues is the depend on the precept.
那么呢，龙树菩萨也曾经说过，那戒为这个大地土种，那一切的水果、花草树木的成就，有赖于这个土地肥不肥沃。所以同样的戒法就是一切善法、一切佛法功德的泉源。那我们在佛法上有没有得到成就，有没有功德，有没有利益呢？就看我们的戒守得好不好，守得清不清楚。
So there's within the Buddha's disciples, there is Nyantu and self-latent or big. There is Pradikupada or some disciples also they mentioned that every vows like Buddhista vows or the Mahamudra vow, every vows are depend on the precept. So the precept is just the background of every vow.
那佛陀弟子也有说过，那一切的其他的戒，比如说菩提心，比如说大手印等等呢，其他善法功德跟这个佛法的戒律，都是从这个戒体中生起来的。所以戒为一切的根本，也是一切的佛法成就的泉源。
So the precept is so the result of the reborn in the heaven or even this life in order to success all the great practice. So without the perceived, there is no any way to arise in these virtuous things.
你是升天还是获得人天果报？那你呢？这一生的福报好不好？这一生福报修的好不好，都有赖你过去的戒律守得清不清净。所以我们说，戒律清净的戒体是一切善法跟福乐的根源。
So the perceived is temporary and permanently. Both are important, and all the qualities are source of these. So here giving the example.
那戒有两种，一种是尽行受，这一生受的戒；一种是永久一直到成佛你必须信守的戒律。所以这边给一些例子。
So just as gardens are not to be found in the growth mid-air, so there is no any things, just a space. There is no impossible to grow the plants or the flowers without any ground. Without ground, there is no way to plant in the space.
那么这边就说了第5段，就在读下这个中文，就犹如空中见花莲，真上定胜诸圆满，无界无始机会故，念之谨慎调之序。
So even we, in order to reborn as a human, or we need to one single precept. So these are important. Even wish to reborn as a human or realm or Sukha land.
那即便是要生而为人，你要有获得人天善法，那你必须要尽守这个戒律，清净的这三法戒律。
So, for example, if somebody is just everything's taken by robbers, and then he try to escape to these such things, and if he or she has not like legs, so these cannot run away from the robbers. He or she sooner or later catch by these robbers, and then he or she arrest. That's why without precept is just breaking the leg. Without leg we cannot move. So precepts are very important, just like leg.
那比如说你没有手没有脚，或者你在一个地方你遇到强盗把你手脚砍断的话，那你是无法行走的。那所以同样的，如果你没有戒体的修持的话，没有教上没有手没有脚，哪里都去不了。换句话说，如果你没有戒法的修持的话，你不会获得任何佛法上的成就。
So breaking the precept, and without a precept, then sooner or later we'll go reborn as a lower realms, and no matter how much qualified or how much listen the teachings, without precept there is no way to liberate or to go reborn as a higher realms.
那如果你没有戒法的修持的话，你会堕到下的当中去。那同时你没有机会听闻乃至于修持或者获得佛法上的这个成就，你也无法获得往生善趣，就是善道的这个功德的这个果报。
So the Manjushri also mentioned those who loosen the precept or break the precept, there is no way to reborn in the higher realms, and there is no matter what qualified there or what listen the Dharma, or there sooner or later reborn in the lower realms.
所以文殊师利菩萨告诉我们说，这个没有善的戒为基础的话，你就无法投生善趣，那这就堕落到下上的当中去，也就没有这个听闻跟这个修持佛法的机会。
So then we know that the precept is a very important discipline. Sometimes we explain as a precept, or sometimes discipline, the same meaning, right? So without discipline, then we know how to. Without discipline, then it's difficult to get the liberation or get another virtues as well. That's why it's very important to perceive the vow or perceive the discipline. Then here I talk about how we perceive, how we get in, how we generate discipline, our moral discipline.
那一般所说的戒，或者说道德的基础，或者说的清净的戒体，或者守己律， 都是同样的意思。这边就说没有清晰的戒律为基础的话，那么无法获得解脱的功德，乃至于人在世界的福报上也无法获得更好的这个福报。但是下来我们就要讲应该怎么样清净的守戒，如何的如理如法的去信持这个戒律呢？
So he says, so with the mindfulness, awareness, and caution, control your mind. This is the way to perceive or keeping the discipline, moral discipline.
那以这个正念、觉知跟谨言慎行来调伏我们的内心，这是守戒心经的方式。
So, what is mindful here? The mindful is what is kind of what kind of should bind and what should accept. How can we practice perceive the proper way? So, if we know this is called the mindful.
那什么叫做正念呢？正念你知道，何者当舍，何者当取。用现代话来说，应该什么东西应该做，什么东西不应该做，是非真假对错，你都念兹在兹，两脑分离，这个就是正念。
So awareness, just examine your mind and examine within us. Do we have this perceive or not? What kind of we shouldn't do or we should do?
那觉知就是你能够回光返照、反观自心，你有没有这个戒品？你有没有守好这个戒？哪一种戒叫你什么应该不应该做？哪一种戒叫你什么应该去做的？你都谨言慎行，念兹在兹，这个是所谓的觉知，或者说是觉照力。
So caution means no attach, no anger or no ignore, or rather we should have a diligent and do so practice. Then this we call caution.
那下面的谨言慎行或者谨慎调秩序，这个是你有这个精进不断用功的这种前进力和动力，你会关照你自己的心，要确保你心处于一种无嗔、无贪、无烦恼的这个状况，好好的掌控自己的心，这个就是所谓的谨慎。
So there's 6 parameters within the 6 parameters. Each are just investigate. Do we have or not?
然后这六度波罗蜜，你六度当中不失时界的六精进禅定智慧，你要一个一个的去审度，一个一个去判别，问问你自己到底有没有这样的这个品质的心识。
So if we have this just within even the one single of among the 6 parameters, if we have, so we we have a perceived.
如果你六度当中你仅仅有了一个，只要有一个的修持，你已经算是守戒清净了。
So the path to the Bodhisattva way says that those who caring or what to say protect the mind or perceived, so the mindful and awareness are main important.
那么呢，在吉天菩萨的入菩萨行论里面有说，善守护己心的、善护念自己的心念的人，那个就是要好好的以这个觉照力、正念来关照、守护自己的心念者，这个是最好的守戒。
So caring them and do not lose them rest of your life.
来好好的把持这个、守护这个、守护这个，不要忘失，在你生命中不要忘失这一个。
So all this we have, then we call as a what to say is a real we call as a precious human life.
因为这样的话，守戒清净的话，就会获得怎么样的人生呢？就会获得暇满难得的人生。
So then we know the quality or benefit of perceived. Now we know that what is perceived, what is kind of moral discipline.
那我们现在知道什么叫做戒，那我们应该守什么样的戒呢？
So moral discipline or perceived is there is a Buddhist way and the novice of the Vinaya ordination and Tantra. There's many perceived, many discipline.
那有很多各种不一样的戒，比如说菩萨戒、别解脱戒，还有比内言，还有密续的戒体、三昧言等等这些都有。
So the identity of the moral discipline is just the mind with the renunciation and the caring or perceived your mind from the three poisons.
那戒的守戒的心，主要是你要升起这个出离心。那升起出离心，就能够远离三毒或者三种烦恼，贪嗔痴。
So there is actually 8 categories of moral discipline.
那一共有8种戒，如果细细的分化的话，划分的话。
So bhikshu and bhikshuni, novice and novice, there is categories. But as I mentioned before, so don't need to explain all detailedly. So every morning as we take in our Buddhist vow, this is also the great precept.
那么呢，所谓的这个比丘、比丘尼、一婆生、一婆夷、祭司男、祭司女，然后每天早上我们说的五戒啊、八拜斋戒啊，早上说的，都算是戒的一种。
So the routes then just yes, Transhivayu then Virangi control your mind. So this is he giving the advice to taking the vow or taking the precept or carrying the one single moral discipline.
所以所有的戒都可以归为一戒，就是善守护，善守护你自己的心，善调护自己的心，回归这一条戒。那这个就是根本戒。所以这边的这根本颂那边写呢，念之谨慎，调秩序。你有正念，你有谨慎，你能够觉照，你能够觉知的话，这个就是调伏你自心相续的最好的戒。
So this we call is how to take the moral discipline, and yes.
这个是关于守戒心经方面的告诫，或者说是心要的建议。
So this morning we talk 3 things we pay attention to, listening and contemplating and the meditation. So now we are going to talk about the listen.
那我们今天早上谈过所谓的闻、思和修。那今天我们等下先就要讲的关于怎么样，什么是听闻，什么是闻。
So first the talk about if we don't listen the Dharma, what happened if don't we listen the Dharma, and how do we engage in the listen the proper way, and requesting to listen the Dharma.
那么呢，这一方面呢，听闻佛法有3个要点。第一个就是说，不听闻佛法的话会有果实。第二，我们要怎么样的去听闻这个佛法？第三，我们怎么样去请别人为我们宣说这个佛法。
So the letter says, "Thome tipi mari manghon." The Hebrew nyun bavjin the davar kem. Up to now, you have wandered as if a crossing without a God through the vast darkness of unknowing or beginningless existence.
下来呢，这个第6的根本颂的第1段，无始无清风人般，独飘轮回此岸中。
So those we have perceived. Then what we do now? We have to study or listen the Dharma.
听闻佛法之后，下来我们应该做什么？就是要好好的去思维法义，然后好好的把所思维到的、听闻到的法义呢，付诸于行动，要精进禅修佛法的修持当中。
So the one of Asanga or Great Master, Indian Great Master, he says, after we have perceived, then we should engage in the listen or practicing or studying.
那无著大师阿桑嘎说过，当我们守戒有了戒体之后，守戒心经之后，下来我们所要从事的佛法的修持，不外就是闻思修。
So he says, up to now, we have wandered as if crazy without God. So we endlessly wandered in this samsara without God. So we have to know. Then we rely to this morning we talked many Buddha's teachings, so the Four Noble Truths or whatever there some teachings we should be relied. We haven't got opportunity in our previous life until now we are just wandered within the samsara.
那独漂轮回痴暗中，一直所以从过去无量世以来，一直到今天，从无始以来到今天，我们都好像一个无头孤魂那一般的，没有一个老师，没有一个方向，没有一个引导。那飘飘泊泊的头出头没，在这轮回苦海中呢，一直漂流到今天，因为我们没有一个指引的方向，我们没有听闻，比如说今天早上所讲的四圣谛啊，这些善法、这些佛法的听闻，我们都没有做过。所以我们没有这个想法，没有目标，没有这个方向。
So we says the unknowing usually says ignorant. We bind by ignorant because we have not getting the great opportunity to listen the Dharma. So one of the great Bodhisattva Maitreya says, even there is the king of the heavens, they giving the wealth or jewels, but if they are lack of fortunate, those are never receiving the things. So no matter the Buddhas have been here, but thousands of Buddhas been here, but lack fortunate sentient beings, they never receiving the teaching, receiving the Buddha's blessing and met him.
那么呢，就好像这个弥勒尊者所讲过的，那好像那个天王，就是说那个诸神之王啊，就有一大堆珍宝，所以一大堆的财宝、富贵等等这个东西。那如果你福报不好的话，你也看不到他们所拥有的这些财物跟这个财宝。那同样的，就算很多的佛已经出现在这个世界上，就是有佛出现在你的面前，给你加持，给你说法。可是你如果福报不够的话，你还是看不到他们，还是得不到他们的加持教法的。
So we don't know, we don't have a quality of knowing the Buddha's quality, and we don't know even those four jewels or the precious of Dharma teachings. So there, as I mentioned before, thousand Buddhas have been, but we don't know. We are just life after life, we reborn within the samsara.
即使有千佛出世，也无法直遇，就是没有这个福报去亲自体聆听佛法的教诲，得到他们的加持。即使有珍贵的佛法出现在你的面前，你也不知道懂得去如何的真实。所以这边跟本颂就这样说，就是无始无期风人般，然后独飘轮回自暗中，在无名的黑暗的轮回当中，头出头没，没有不得处理。
So we bind by attach or delusions within the three poison or five poisons. We bound by these delusions, and just we wander the samsara, just mad or crazy.
在无名痴暗的这个轮回大海中头出头没，那我们就被三毒贪嗔痴或者是五毒贪嗔痴慢疑所牵引着、所捆绑着、所限制住。所以在这轮回苦海中，好像疯子一般的到处乱跑乱跳。
So then we know this is a very great opportunity or very good to listen the Dharma, and then how to we engage listening activities.
那我们知道佛法，既然知道佛法是如此的珍贵难得和殊胜的，那我们要如何的好好的去聆听？去趋近这个佛法的听闻呢？
So he says, so no, in order to find the greater pleasure of peace and happiness, it's right there to take joy studying ocean-like teachings.
那么呢，下来他就说，经寻极乐美载故，因习听闻圣教诲。
So the Buddhas, it's very rare to appear. And it's the teachings most rare to get attend opportunity. So the great advantage is very important.
所以佛陀乃至佛陀所宣说的法教，两者都是无比的殊胜难得的珍贵的。所以要生难预想，当我们有机会亲见佛陀，并且从那边得到他所给予的教导跟指引的时候，我们要生难造预想。
So of course they are very difficult to get in the all precious human body, and so it's most even though we have a human body, but getting greater chance to practicing Dharma as the real, as very real.
所以有这个殊胜暇满的难得的人生已经很可贵了。如果再遇到难得的佛法，那就更加的殊胜跟难得的稀有。所以要有两者都有，有殊胜暇满的人生，遇到殊胜难得的佛法，这两者都有这样的条件的话，是非常不容易的一件事情。
That's why I saw the great place of peace and happiness. He just requested we know this very great opportunity we have, and these are very rare to get in something these opportunities without accumulating merits, 1,000 lives in our previous life. So this is the very great time.
所以呢，要有上千世以上，那如此这一般的福德的累积，那今天我们才能够找到，好像这样这边所说的精寻极乐美宰故，这很美的一个皇宫一般的住所。极乐就是这个平静跟这个快乐，那能够为你带来平静跟安乐的一个皇宫，一个住的地方，很美的住的一个地方。今天因为上千世以上的功德累积，今天我们找到了这个非常美好的一个住所，那我们应该感到学习跟感恩。
So these are we are not reborn as another's realms, those lack of opportunity, and we are just reborn as humans, and we get the opportunity to meet the great master, and we get most precious things. So if we going to waste this great opportunity, so in the next time it's very difficult to get again.
那我们不像是其他道的众生，没有缘获得这暇满难得人生。那暇满难得的人生已经有了，加上我们遇到一个具德的上师，就是这个好的善知识来给我们指导跟教诲。那再加上我们遇到能够听闻从上师那边听闻这个殊胜美好难得的教法，那我们有机会把这个殊胜美好难得教法加以实践，加以修持，这个更加的殊胜难得。所以可见我们这辈子很多倍、很多的这个殊胜的难得的这种机缘，实在是可遇不可求的。所以我们应该要生难知难遇和感恩的心情。
So this is says place of peace means the infinite sentient beings remove their sufferings, the without such as suffering, and free from their sufferings be happiness. That's given the example of peace, of place of peace. So this is the only way to practicing Dharma and achieve enlightenment.
所以呢，我们也能够希望经由对佛法的听闻，我们今天已经住在一个安和、幸福、快乐的一个住所当中。那我们也希望我们把听闻的佛法给其他众生分享，也把他们安住在这个皇宫，这个非常快乐平静的皇宫当中，安住于涅槃之乐，把众生从此岸渡到这个安乐的彼岸去。这个就是我们要做的工作，在听闻佛法的时候，所要升起的一种发心。
So then we rejoice ourselves, and there is what usually we receive in the Dharma teachings. There is a three-part. We have to have rely to what to say. It's six paramita. All these kind of things we need, but it's not necessary to each part of this explain detailedly. So most rejoice ourselves and generate your mind. No, very fortunate. We should recognize how we are fortunate is, and then detect the great opportunity and diligently, happily, diligently, joyfully put them practice. It's very important.
然后刚才忘记翻，就是说，如果这个暇满难得人生我们不好好的去运用的话，然后这一次不好好努力用功修持，下一次可能就没有机会去获得暇满难得人生，也就失去了这个修持和这无佛法的机会。那下来我们应该为我们自己拥有这个暇满难得人生感到庆幸，然后有这个暇满难得人生，在遇到佛法有机会去修持跟证悟佛法，也应该要感到非常非常的感恩跟这个随喜， 通常我们必须要远离三种过失，然后要记住六度波罗波罗蜜，六度不是世界如金禅智慧这些。然后但是这边因为时间的关系，我们这边所教导我们是要我们要随喜，对自己有听闻和修持和证悟佛法的机会呢，要感到非常的随喜跟赞叹。
So we just we motivate that teacher as a greater given the Dharma treasure, and Dharma is like a treasure. So we are taking the jewels. So motivate such this and then receiving the teaching.
那么呢，就是佛法的老师好像是宝藏的给予者，他把很多的财富、很多的钱要送给你。所以当我们听闻佛法的时候，必须要升起这样的一种感想。有人把很多的钱、很多的财宝送给我们，那个佛法的宝藏的给予者，就是给我们宣说、为我们宣说佛法的老师。
So that here says take enjoy studying. So this is the requesting to put them practicing of the listening activity.
所以我们应该要随喜自己能够听闻圣法教，那同时听闻佛法的过程当中。修持乃至于证悟佛法的这个过程当中，我们要有这个法喜充满，要感到随喜、赞叹和感恩。
That's why the precious teachings are very precious, and we again and again say one thing to emphasize, because the traditionally sometimes we need to understand more deeply.
那为什么一直不断的重复的跟各位讲了又讲的佛法是那么的珍贵、那么的殊胜、那么的难得、那么实用？因为这个我们一直要提醒自己。这样的话，我们升起这个难招难预想，升起这种感恩法喜的话，这样我们对佛法的这个修持跟证悟才能够越来越深入，越来越透彻。
So this morning we talk about renunciation and others perceived, and then step by step. So at moment we are just focus on the perceived or moral discipline. So we rejoice such as we have a greater opportunity to such able to take these kind of vows.
那今天早上我们谈了出离心，然后谈到戒守戒，对不对？然后我们一定要随喜我们有机会去听闻这样的教法，同时实践这样的教法。关于出离心啊，关于戒啊等等这些，我们应该随喜我们有修持这种佛法的机会，并且能够证悟他们的境界。
So the Dharma's meanings just not only in life listen, but put them practice in words by words. And so today we are just shortly we after the other teachings we put them like meditation or meditate, or in the future also these kind of Dharma words are remind again and again.
那单单只是听闻佛法还是不够的，单单只是了解你所听闻的方法也还是不够好的。你必须要把你所听闻到的、学习到的佛法加以去思维，做思维修。那所有的人像我们会把我们所今天讲的、听到的内容去思维、去灌输、去禅修一下，那就是所谓的思维修。所以光光吸收、听到、学习佛法还是不够的，就是要把所听到的、吸收的、学习到的往家里去思维，去反复的观修，一次一次的让自己纯熟于其中，熟悉于其中。这个就是所谓的闻思修中的思。
So only the listen and the studying is not enough. So now we just what we should do after we listen. So here talk about how to we reflection the teachings and how to we contemplate the meanings of teaching.
所以如刚才所说，单单是学习吸收跟这个听闻佛法还是不够好，我们要把所学习吸收跟听闻到的佛法加以去思维、去观察、去观修、去禅修。所以等下我们就做这样的一些练习，对法义的这种思维跟观修。
So then, after we know the quality of listening, and then we have to know reflect the meanings and put them practice. Then, in order to know this, first we say how to engage in the activities of contemplation or reflection the meanings, and how can we do? And then His Holiness requesting to these activities put the practice.
所以佛法中的闻思修是有它的步骤跟程序的，然后先听闻后思维，然后到最后必须要把所听闻乃至于所反复思维观修的佛法的要义呢加以实践，就是要加以禅修。那这是法王这边佛祖如意宝，法王如意宝就是很常常告诉我们说，必须要不能够光说不练，多识熟宝，就是要把听闻的思维到的佛法，真正的亲身的去实践，去体验到佛法的正量这个才是一个修持的佛法的弟子所应该有的担当，所应该有的这个做法跟实践。
So here says Tupacam Jidondo Machutna Sundang Tan La Ichi Nisgavi. Yet herein alone will not be enough to eliminate misconceptions, and confidence in the teachers and teachings will not come easily.
那下来是第七个根本颂，这是这样念的：唯闻不能断真义，与佛正法难得信。依靠百般辩讲者，便讲住思所深会执心中。
That's why then the reflection is very important. When we listen to the Dharma teachings and then we contemplate the meanings.
所以，当然听闻佛法还是不好的，我们必须要对所聆听、吸收、学习的法义加以不断的思维，不断用思辨的方式加以逻辑性的去思考、去思辨、去观修，这样才是下一步增益我们对法义的了解和认知的方法。
So the taking the wisdom of reflections, the meaning of the listened teaching.
那么就是把所思维的法义汲取出来的，加以不断的观修、反复的去思维和思辨。
So listen alone, it's very difficult to cutting the root of samsara, and it's difficult to eliminate delusion of samsara.
那单只是听闻和学习佛法、吸收佛法，不能够把人给的根给它换除掉，也不能斩断我们的无明跟惑业。那唯有思维多对法义的思维，才能够稍微的把这个它的根本撼动，稍微摇动一下它的根本。
So it's difficult to arising trust within the Buddha's teachings and the Buddha and Buddha's teachings without reflection the meanings, just only the listen.
你没有对佛法没有正见，你只是吸收，就是好像一五一十的照单全收，只是吸收跟学习佛法，只是听闻而已，不加以思维它的法义，不明白它到底真正讲什么的话，那是对佛法一点受用也没有的，就无法断除人之根。对佛陀本身以及对佛陀所讲的法，你不能有这个确实的信心。
That's why we just devotion of faith. The faith is background of wisdom. Faith is coming from the reflections of Buddha's teachings. So we just believe or something. Faith to the Buddha is not basic on the blind. We need these three categories of faith. So the most important faith is background of wisdom. So in order to get in that kind of faith, we listen and reflect.
那么呢，我们一般说我们相信佛陀，我们对佛陀有虔诚心、有信心。可是我们应该升起虔诚心的信心，最重要是佛陀的智慧。所以，如果你对佛陀所讲的话，反复的思维，你认为这真的是这样子的，确实是如此的，肯定是错不了的。这样我们就对佛陀的智慧升起信心。那我们照这样的来修的话，我们就达正跟佛一样的佛位跟这个功德。那所谓的信心有三种。对佛的智慧所升起的信心，就能够让我们升起一股向前迈进的勇气跟动力，在我们的佛法之上精进不懈的往前迈进。这个是对佛的智慧、对法教的信心。
So Buddha never says just follow my teachings without knowing, and he always emphasizes mentioned each sutras, bhikshus and sukulas investigate my teachings rather than put them in the blind faith. So in order to get in this, the reflection and study are very important, the unseparately.
那么呢，佛陀曾经不断地告诫我们说，你不要盲目的相信我的教导，不要盲目的崇拜我，不要盲目的崇拜权威。所以对我法教必须要像对黄金一般的检验，看它是不是真的，不要盲目的去崇拜去相信它，一直到你确认这个金子是真的，你才可以把它当作是真的黄金。所以一直到你确知我的教法是真实无欺的，那你就可以把它加以实践，加以原则在你的生命当中。所以佛陀并不鼓励我们盲目迷信或者是盲修瞎练，他鼓励我们以这个正信的、以这个觉知的角度去趋信他的法教。所以这个是社会佛弟子我们应该有的态度和抉择。
So the one lotus of sutra, Buddha mentioned that the Shariputtava trust me and faith me and should understand the teachings, and those Sukha, those Bodhisattvas never tell the lie. So this is basic on the wisdom.
那么呢，在《妙法莲华经》里面就讲过，佛陀告诉说舍利子，佛陀告诉舍利子说，我是实义者、如语者、不妄语者，也就是佛陀所讲话是真实不无欺的，是确实如此的。佛陀从来不会讲话来骗我们，虽然讲的是真实的话，所以我们应该相信佛的智慧。
So within the tradition of most Buddhists, especially Tibetan Buddhism, there year and year, 20 years or sometimes more than 30, they're studying the philosophy, basic on the sutra, on the mantra, or their Pranjaparamita and logic and the Abhidharma and Vinaya, all these categories of philosophies we study. The main reason in order to get in the real wisdoms within the study.
在佛法修持的过程当中，特别是我们说藏传佛教金刚证，一般的藏传的修学的系统当中呢，一般的学生是做学生的僧人们呢，要花大概20年至30年时间花在对佛教哲学的研究上。那一般上他们必须要知道般若经典，就是般若智慧的经典的掌握，必须要有。对佛法的逻辑、因明学也要有所掌握，阿毗达摩、毗奈耶、戒律等等这些，他们都要通晓。所有的经论啊、很多论点，他们都要掌握的非常的好。
So here it says, well, not easily. So through the 100 form of debate, explaining and composing together the elixir of mind. Here talk about then we know then how we practice, how we reflect the Buddha's teaching, contemplate the teachings through the logic, through the debating. So Buddha always said, just examine yourself, relevant, defined or background of the logic teachings. So we just, if we have any doubt, we can ask and questions and debate each other through the philosophy.
所以这边就说了，就是百般思辨著，就是依靠100种方法去辩论，辩论去解释，去著书论述。那这样的话，就是说佛法是允许我们去怀疑的。如果不明白的地方，你要问，问了别人给答案，自己跟别人辩论都没有问题。因为佛法的真理是经得起时间跟逻辑的考验的。所以这个我们不明白的话，就是要去怀疑，怀疑的话找出它的答案，这个就是我们思维，并且是用思辨的方法去搞清楚佛法的这个道理的方法，就是不断的百般的去辩论、去讲解、去写书、去论述等这些，这个就是所谓的这个方法。
So basic on the logic should be debating, and basic of wisdom should explain the Dharma teachings for the others, and then after we know the meanings of teaching, then we can compose the Buddha's teachings.
那么呢，所谓的这个辩论的基础，就是搞清楚佛法的因明跟逻辑。那所谓的智慧的基础，当你有智慧的时候，你就可以为别人演讲佛法的概要、佛法的要领， 然后写书啊、演讲啊、开示啊等等之类，都是从那边来的。
So this is advice to put them in practice. So if we do or if we throw all these conditions, then gathering elixir of mind, we just reflections or wisdom is automatically arising within our mind according to the Buddha's teachings. So we need to reflection through the wisdom.
那这样的话，这边呢，就他说，心灵的甘露就会在你的意识田中慢慢的滋长，慢慢的升起。因为当你不断的对佛法有升起这个思所成慧，因为你思辨，因为你不断的观修，去思维，去辩论，去写出论作，去解释，那这样的话呢，你就会获得这个智慧。那这个智慧在你心中升起的智慧呢，就把它叫做思所成慧。
So now we just it's reflection, listen, reflection, and contemplate or meditation. So here we talk about how to we meditate or reflection. So in order to know that, then if we first we know if we don't put them in practice, what happened and how we to practice, and the Buddha's turn of Dharma's teachings thousand individuals according individuals' capacity. So we do not put them our practice what's happening. So here we talk.
那下来呢？那除了我们所谓的闻思修，闻了之后要思维，思维之后如果不修，那会产生什么样的弊病跟过失呢？那佛陀因为众生不同的根器而宣说这种不同的法要、不同的法义。那像如果你不把这个法要跟法义加以实践，你只是听闻，只是了解，只是去思辨，只是去观修的话，它会发生怎样的过患，或者说是过失呢？下一步就是我们要探讨这些内容。
So here says Jean Le Ramjam Mavi Tunchin Ya Jean Le Ramjam Mavi Tunchin Ya Ranjin Matra Nitsu Don Bandan Chua Santa on and Jopi Jo. So even the most erudite teachers with the vast scripture learnings can repeat it words like parrot without taking them to the heart. But when death suddenly arrives, this will only the brain regret.
那这边呢，第8个，请各位看这个中文的本颂，讲诸圣教大论时，未调秩序如鹦鹉，死亡句子悔恨因，牢记教戒诸道友。
So, even though you study quantum civilly or studies very vast knowledge about Buddha's Dharma teachings, if you not then practice, it's just like a repeated words like parrot. The parrots, if we teach them, they just repeat. They can what we teach, they can say, but they don't know meanings. It's the same as if we know what. No matter you are a scholar or you are, there are many titles within the like traditionally, but what kind of titles you have, you are high qualified or spiritual or like a scholar, or no matter. If you do not practice, you will be regret when the death comes.
所以这边就说呢，讲诸圣教大论师。所以如果你没有加以实修，没有调伏你的秩序，就是你的心理，没有调伏自己的心相续的话，那你就好像把所听闻到的佛法、所观修、所思维的佛法，然后一直在重复，你变成第二手的，你不是没有第一手的经验，那就好像鹦鹉一样，鹦鹉你跟他讲什么话，它是在重复，它只能够听你的话，然后不断的重复你的话语，它对那个话的意思一点都不懂的，它是重复。所以如果你跟鹦鹉一样，你是鹦鹉学舌，别人讲什么就讲出就照本宣科的照讲，你没有自己的体验，没有自己的了悟的。所以这样的话呢，对我们来说是一点好处都没有的。所以，即便你是把自己叫做大论师、大义师、大班指导，你是一个很伟大的学者、大师，可是到死的时候呢，你就会升起悔恨的心，你一点实际的觉受，一点体验都没有，因为你没有修。
So the one of the stories of Buddha Shakyamuni is on his cousins. He knowing the knowledge, he rich knowledge, but he didn't put the practice, and even he just arrogant, the proud on his brother, and then finally he reborn as a heroes. This is obviously do not practice. There's nothing happened with the knowledgeable or scholar.
那佛陀的堂弟他是多闻第一，他听闻佛法听的最多就是他的。那因为多闻第一未全道理，他功夫一点用不上力，所以就是有一次他就是可能会堕落到地狱道中去，因为他一点修正的功夫都没有，他只是多闻而已。
That's why here says so rely on the essential meanings of teachings, my heart friends. That's why if we do not practice these kind of things, very difficult to reborn again and as a human and get an opportunity such as this. Even sometimes we usually say their committed negative actions rely on the dharmas. That means even we practice even we study or we listen or whatever, but we do not do as a dharma, as a teachings, and we are avoiding the instructions and we break the lineage, then reborn in the high realms rather than reborn in the high levels or high realms.
那下来呢是牢记教戒诸道友，就是说我的朋友啊，我亲爱的朋友啊，你们必须要把我讲的话呢，好好的放在你的心里面，好好的惦记，然后要提醒自己，今天我跟你们所讲的话，那个法王无一宝是这样写的。那意思就是说，如果你没有把你的所听闻到、所思维到的佛法加以实践、加以实修，乃至于升起这种觉受跟体验的话，到临终的时候你就会后悔莫及，因为你实际上还是重复别人话语的一模一样，自己一点体验都没有，所以必须要谨记我的教诲，我亲爱的朋友们，的法王无一宝是这样的。那如果是这样的话，你死了之后呢，很难获得香满，再次或者像今天一点这一次一样的香满难得的人生。不只是如此，如果你没有依教奉行，乃至于破戒、破坏这个传承的话，那你可能还会堕落到地狱道中去。所以由此可见呢，这个光说不练、说实速报，或者是没有体验、没有个人的证悟的话，那对我们来说是很不好的事情，必须要说到也要做到。
So now we are talking about the reasons of Buddha's turn of the teachings, and how do we abound in the opposite of actions of practicing. So then requesting them to proper way to practice.
那现在我们讲到佛是如何的转法轮的。那佛转法轮所跟我们说的一些什么？那如何去趋近，乃至于去接近、去请佛，把这个佛的法教传到我们的身上，那诸如此类的。那我们就下一章就会讲到这个。
Mama jari chuturam jamkan rajit darwa koni tapsadam. All the infinitive teachings of Buddhas, as vast in the numbers, are imparted purely as means to subdue our own mind.
那么现在看到这本书第9个，数多佛陀诸法理，微调众心方便说。
So all the infinite teachings are these are the main purpose to reduce our delusion and upright, or what to say, it's antidote of delusion. So if we have all this quality, or if we engage, then life be meaningful.
那所有的诸佛的教诲，无一不是要对治我们的烦恼，心中的烦恼。那如果你把佛的教诲加以实现的话，你就能够过着一个充满意义、充满目标的人生。
So there's many teachings of Buddha. Some teachings are words by Buddha, and some teachings are blessing of Buddhas. And also the teachings are categories. As I mentioned this morning, we have so there's levels of the Buddha teachings. Every teachings are given the benefit for sentient beings according their capacity or level of their mind.
那今天我们说过，那其实佛的法、佛 佛法有两种，一种是佛亲口说的佛法，另外一种是佛加持之下允许佛的弟子或者是天人或者是僧众不代佛而学说的法教，也叫做佛法。所以这两种法教多好呢？我们都知道说佛会根据众生各种不一样的根器而学说各种不一样的佛法。
So all these teachings are should be practiced and so sometimes we just delusion. We usually says our mind covered by the ignorant or unknowing. So in order to recover this ignorance, there are many different way according to the yanas.
那我们说，我们的心呢，一般做事情是被无明的烦恼给蒙蔽着的、笼罩着的。那要怎样把这无明去除，让我们的心生出这个智慧的光明呢？根据不同的乘，车乘的乘有不同的说法。
So we cannot attach only the words. Here says the repeated words in what to suddenly about granting slowly. Missing by heart, every infinite teachings of this embodied mind. Yeah, so here says not only the words, just the meanings. Meanings are their categories are different. Different teachings are different qualities have. So it's very important to know every teachings are precious.
那么下来呢，他就说到，莫要单着诸词句，真要入心，不告诫。也就是说，听法不要听到那个法的文字上，不要看法的表面里，而要深入法的核心。那当然，不管什么法都好，只要是佛法，我们都要给予相当的尊重跟敬仰，因为都是佛法，不管是佛法是深是浅，是大是小，我们都要。
So we are practitioners according to the individual's mind capacity, and every Buddha's single teaching means in order to reduce our delusion and free from the sufferings. And so there's not only one single teaching should be practiced. There's many ways. So as I mentioned before, there's many ways as levels or capacity for the sentient beings.
所以呢，这个佛法的目标无非就是要调伏内心的烦恼，让众生究竟的离苦得乐，乃至于究竟成佛。所以不管佛所说哪一种法，一个字一句话，那它有对不同的人来说都有不同的含义、不同的层次、不同的方法。所以我们所说的方法当然不只有一种，因为众生有千种、百万种根基，所以所说的法，我所谓的方便法门，自然就是非常的多元化，非常的各式各样的，不一而定。
So here it says, don't put your faith in the words alone. So here actually the meaning is do not just take in the one meaning of the one verse. The one verse has meanings. For example, each yana has a different explanation or description about our delusion of ignorant. Sometimes most of the Buddha teachings, they says every sentient being, Buddha nature is existing in all the living beings. So in order to recover our Buddha nature, so sometimes the delusion is abominable, we shouldn't accept, but sometimes delusion and we don't need to reject or we are bond. These are acceptable according to the high levels of teachings. So these are very important, each word's explanation according the yanas.
下来就是不用执着这个佛法的文字上，因为它的表面上是这样，它的字不是只是一个意思而已，一个字乃至有多元的意思，根据众生的根器，不同的了解，不同的体悟，不同的方面的这个法门，而要植入这个佛法的精华跟它的这个核心。那佛法的同样的一个名词，同样一种说法，你是属于哪一层的修行者的话，就有不同的理解跟体悟。那比如说，我们说无明跟烦恼，那有些宗派或者有些学派告诉我们说， 无明跟烦恼是要远离的，不可以碰它，你离得越远越好。然后有一些宗派有一些称，比如说金刚圣人说，我们可以把烦恼转为道用，就是把烦恼转为修行的资粮，所以这是完全不同的见地。所以因为根据众生的根器上下的不同，那我们就有不同的体验，也就延伸出种种不同的法门，来让各种不同根器的众生去修持，然后去得到离苦得乐究竟成佛的这个果位。所以呢，我们看佛法不要看它的文字的表象，而要深入它的核心，然后根据你自己的层次去修持证悟你自己层次的那个佛法。
That's what another sutra says. I gave you the Dharma teachings or purchase of teachings. If you listen the teachings, do not practice do not put them your practice. It's the same as giving the medicine to you in order to heal your illness. Just your medicine put on the table and did not take them. There's nothing happened to cure your illness. It's the same. The Buddha's teachings as also the Buddha Shakyamuni, he gave in the teachings. This morning we taught the teachings as a medicine. So if we do not take in the medicine, we never heal our illness.
就好像佛陀在这经典里面所讲的，那如果你把所听闻到视为道的佛法，你光说不练，那只会讲没有去做的话，就好像你生病的时候，医生给你药你不去吃，你把它放在桌子上，但你的病当然永远不会好。所以今天早上我们说，我们的烦恼就是我们所生的病，那药就是法药，就是佛法的药。所以佛法的药是要拿来吃的，所以佛法是要拿来实践的，拿来修的，不要只是光说不练。我们说到的、讲到的、思维到的，我们就要去做、去修、去行。
Way of practicing the way of Bodhisattva. The way of Bodhisattva says. So, what it means, even the here and the lots of teachings or reading the teachings, Dharma practice, do not practice. It's the same as just the title or description of the medicine. Just read, and we did not take in the medicine. It's the same.
那吉天菩萨在入菩萨行论里面讲到说，如果你在佛法上的修持只是光说不练，你听得懂，然后你听得明白，然后听一大堆，看很多的书，听很多的佛法讲座，那你只是没有，但是没有去做，没有去禅修，没有去精进用功的话，就好像你看很多药品的解说啊，这个药是怎么制造的，它成分是什么，它其实制造在那你这个药你根本没有吃，你只是读它的标签、它的说明书而已，那样对你的病是一点好处都没有的。
That's why the Madhyamaka or Mahamudra or Dzogchen or all these explanations are a little different. Words are different meanings according to the subject. But if we take the meanings as like a wrong way or something opposite, then this causes committed us like reborn in the lower realms, or it's make negative causes within our mind rather than realize our natural mind or achieve enlightenment.
所以呢，我们说这个比如说中观啊、大手印啊、大圆满，那它们的名词都有不同的含义，根据我们的根器有不同的含义跟解说。所以如果有了因为自己的不理解、没有实修，产生的邪见或者不正确的见解的话，那我们以喜是能够证悟我们的自心本性，了悟到我们自心本性，那可能会在我们心上续所留下的一些过失破坏，然后造就了能够投身到下山当中，比如说地狱当中去的一些恶因恶果，所以这个要非常的小心谨慎千万不可以马马虎虎。
So the Buddha on his words, my teachings, sometimes these teachings are very great, this is more blessing, and other teachings not to my like lack of blessing or less blessing or this kind of something like that. If we judge the Dharma teachings, so this week says the abundance of Dharma. So abundant Dharma means great negative actions. So we really should be careful. No matter what kind of
we are met the levels of teaching, just the practice in this teaching and do not criticize others' lineage or others' teachings. Every Buddha's teachings are the same. The different is way and maybe the different is lineage or all this little bit, but main purpose to achieve an enlightenment. Sooner or enlightenment result is liberate our mind within the delusion of samsara. So these are very important to know.
那佛陀有时候在某一部经典，他会说：“我现在跟你们说的话，这一部经典是最棒的、最好的、最有价值的。”佛陀会在其他经典说：“我对你们说的话，这一部经典，这个法是最棒的、最有价值的、最有功德、最好的、最殊胜的。”那我们有时候会搞糊涂，那搞不明白的话，我们就会诽谤其他人说：“哎，我修的这个法是最好的，你们修通通是最差的。”如果有这样的邪知邪见的话呢，你就等于犯法。犯法的最多是下地狱的，是很严重的。所以你只要修你自己所认为最好就可以了，不要诽谤，然后看不起别人所修的这个佛法。因为每个人的根器不一样，了解的层次不同，所以你必须要尊敬别人的选择。那你同时也要相信自己的这个修的法，那这样就可以了。所以因为错知错见邪产生了大法的罪过的话，对自己的修持对别人一定好处多多。所以各位在这方面要非常的小心，因为所有佛法的目的呢，人就说都是为了要调伏我们的心相去，然后让我们远离烦恼，离苦得乐，然后从轮回中得到自由解脱的成佛。
Even we cannot say this is the lower yana and this is a higher yana, or like do not look down that these are the practitioner of Mahayana, nor the Theravada or lower yana, or this kind of things we cannot say. These are the different lineage. Buddhas, south and north are different little bit lineage, and their main are not any different. The words are the same as the Buddha's taught.
那么甚至不能说，哎，这个是比较小的秤啊，这个比较大，这个比较差，这个比较好。那这样的就是诽谤犯法。因为我们必须要知道说佛法的所有的佛法都是一味平等的，所有的法位都是一样的。但是呢，众生因众生故而有差别，所以呢，我们要给，因为不同的传承、不同的宗派、不同的风格，只是这样的分别而已。那究竟的目标上，成佛的目的上是完全等同无二无别的。
One of the Tsongkhapa says, Tamba Tamchen Garmi the Toba. Every Buddha's teachings should know there's no any oppositions of all the same. And Sonrab Tamche Damgata Sharva means every Buddha's lectures or the volumes or books just appear as the instructions. And Jari Gomba Dela then swiftly, immediately we catch the Buddha's main essential of the teachings. So this is the protector from the dangerous field down there, something like a mountain or something like that. These are very important. We investigate our mind again and again. So criticizing others or something like look down others are really dangerous, and this is a very big negative action.
那宗喀巴大师有说过，诸佛教法性平等，就所有的佛的教法都是平等的、一味的。那么呢，口诀流传为心要，就是说把这个佛法他们的这个修行的口诀传下来，这是他们的心要，他们的见解。那么呢，只取核心为上手，就是说你必须要直探佛法的本怀，直接拿到它的核心的内容，而不要看文字的表象。所以呢，批判其他的，称他众为卑劣，说自己的修的是最好的，这个是万万不可以做的。不要看轻别人的修法、别人传承、别人宗派，因为在佛法的究竟的意义上说，每一个人都是平等，都是一位的。所以不要看轻诋毁其他的宗派、其他的传承，因为这个是后果相当的严重。
So we are all just wish to reborn is Sukeda land or Amitabha land. So it's easy actually it's easy to reborn as Amitabha land because we are devotion to the Amitabha and some connected His Holiness Jigme Phuntsok and other masters as well. Those who are wishing to reborn as the Amitabha land, they definitely there is a guarantee Amitabha himself and the Buddha Shakyamuni also mentioned the Sutta Amitabha land is easy to reborn, those who wishing to reborn there. But if we have this such as the criticizing the Buddha's teachings, this is we call the Chupangali. Chupang means just a bond in the Dharma. So this is it seems easy, something is really the moment thought of our emotion. So even we just arising this kind of thought immediately should be confessed. So this is the great block to reborn in the Amitabha land as well.
所以那些念净土修习净土法门，然后发愿往生这个极乐净土的人，那你只要对阿弥陀佛有信心，有绝对信心，乃至于对这个比如说基督徒法、如意法有信心，那些都是宣扬净土法门的大德、祖师大德、从上师有信心的话，那100%保证你一定能够往生无碍，你能够往生到西方极乐世界去。那可是，如果你有这个犯法的罪过，你认为自己宗派比别人好，或者你说诸法是不平等的，这个法比那个法好，你就舍弃了这个法的平等性。那你只要起了这样的念头，这样的一种烦恼的情绪的话，那就变成一种大罪过，一种大障碍。那这个对你往生佛国净土来说是一种法上面的障碍，所以不得不小心。
So it's kind of the sweet, it's a kind of the test of sweet, where we just test that's a sweet, Buddha's teachings or every test the sweet. So the teachings are in order to achieve liberation and enlightenment. So we need to practice and reflect then according the four reliables. We don't rely on the words, we rely on the meanings, and we don't rely on the meaning just like there's four reliable things. These are we have to know how to differentiate and practice in them.
那么呢，也就是说呢，这个法的修持上，我们要用这个四依止。就是依义不依义，就是说要根据这个法的意义，而不是它语言的表象上的意思。然后现在就是依法不依人，就是依据佛法而不是看那个人。然后第三就是依了义不依不了义，就是要依照这个佛所了义的说法，而不是不了义的这个说法。等等这个，那这个四依止呢，必须要去这个信守。那这样的话呢，我们不会只卡在这个佛法的标签、文字像上打转，那能够直探佛法的核心跟它最精要的那个实义的这个部分，而不会去诽谤其他的宗派。
So these are one section, and now we are just meditations one. There's four. Reversal of attitude. We talk about this. If you need to break on before that, or we continue go or break? 1 minute break. Okay, here 1 minute. Yeah.
那我们现在等一下我们回来去做我们就说有一些小问答，然后我们就做这个转心释法的阐述，然后希望我们大概5分钟的